We are almost halfway done with the college football season, and Georgia Tech is sitting at 5-0. Tech is currently number 13 in the AP poll, which is the highest that it's been since 2014. And after a decade of mediocrity, it is so nice as a Tech fan to finally see a team that has potential to have some real accomplishments this season. At least for now, gone are the days of simply hoping to make a bowl by the end of the season, but the goals now need to be focused on something more. And those goals for Georgia Tech this season, ladies and gentlemen, are as follows. 1, win out in the ACC. 2, beat Georgia. 3, earn a berth into the ACC championship. And 4, make the college football playoff.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs?
And while some of these goals before the season seemed like just a pipe dream, I'm telling you right now, everything I just talked about is achievable. They're real, and Georgia Tech could go and accomplish all of these things. As a Georgia Tech fan, I am fired up. They're experienced, they're talented, they're clutch. I couldn't be prouder to be a Georgia Tech fan right now.
Man, I just love this team.
Anyways, the goal we are going to focus on today is winning out in the ACC. And instead of me telling you how we're going to accomplish this, let's ask Coach Brent Key.
And that's what it takes. Survive and advance. Let me tell you guys, I am so proud of y'all. At the end of the day, survive and advance with one of those. Survive and advance. We got
survive and advance. If you're a player or a coach on Georgia Tech, it's important that they just take these games one game at a time because they're all winnable. But I'm not a player or a coach. I'm just an optimistic fan with a YouTube channel. So let's take a look ahead at the rest of the ACC schedule and see what lies in front of Georgia Tech. First up is Virginia Tech, and to say they've gotten off to a bad start would be an understatement. Brent Pry was fired after just 3 games, and while they did get a win against NC State, this is by all means an inferior opponent. For Georgia Tech, the goal in this game has to be what they haven't done this entire year, which is beat a Power 4 team convincingly. Look, I'm 26, and if I lose my hair by 50, so be it. That would be fine. But what I don't want is to lose my hair by 30, which is exactly what's going to happen if I keep watching Georgia Tech football. I'm all for an exciting game, and Georgia Tech knows how to play them. But at some point, some of these don't need to be so close. So coming out of the bye, it is imperative that Georgia Tech puts Virginia Tech away early. Because if you keep playing enough of these close games, you'll lose one eventually. So please, Georgia Tech, just put them away. It would make me so happy. The following week, Georgia Tech takes on Duke. And to be quite honest, this game scares me. After starting off 1-2, Duke has rebounded with 3 straight wins, and the biggest reason for that is their quarterback, Darian Mensah. And I have to give Duke football a lot of credit by going after Mensah and replacing Malik Murphy from last year. And Murphy and Duke both had good seasons. However, Duke felt like they could improve, and they brought in Mensah, and it's paying off a ton. I feel like he's a future first-round pick at quarterback. And I also have to give a shout-out to Anthony Vincent Jr., their defensive end. He may be one of the best players in the conference when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, even almost as good as Ruben Bain Jr. And if you know anything about Ruben Bain, that's high praise. For Georgia Tech to win this game, they're going to have to do what they always do, which is control the ball on the ground and kill the clock. If you give this Duke offense too many possessions, then they're going to take advantage. And this is the kind of game where if Tech gets into a shootout, then they're probably going to lose. I like Tech's chances in this game, but it's going to be a tough one, and they're going to have to be ready to play. As for the last 4 conference games on the schedule, I'm just going to go through these quickly as they're a little bit too far away to fully predict. We'll cover that a little bit more thoroughly as those games get closer. But starting off with Syracuse, this is a home game, and Q's just lost their quarterback, Steve Angeli, and since then they've looked pretty rough. This should be a win, and especially after the whole beef that happened between Brent Key and Fran Brown, the team should be looking for revenge. Moving on to NC State at the road. This is going to be a tough game. NC State is still the same team. They're up and down, but it's a hostile environment. Then coming out of the bye, you have Boston College, who's looked really bad. They're an inferior team, and we should take care of them. However, going up in the cold may serve as a little bit of a challenge. And then finally, you have Pittsburgh, who's also kind of the same team that they normally are. They're up and down, but they just made a change at quarterback, moving on from Eli Holstein, so that'll be interesting to watch. The thing that scares me the most about this game is it's the week before Georgia, and I just hope that the guys aren't looking ahead and end up, letting this be a letdown game. So Georgia Tech's going to have to play well to win this one and not look ahead. So looking at all of these games from afar, they're all winnable. And that should be the goal for Georgia Tech, is to win out through the rest of the conference schedule. It's definitely possible, and I'm excited to see what Tech can do. And also, I plan on posting Georgia Tech content on here every week. So keep tuning in, keep watching. We're going to do some big things, and the videos are going to keep getting better and better. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and go Jackets.